because we switched the order. Bravery, fortitude, guts. These are some of the terms that came to Jeremy's mind when he thinks about the men and women who fought and died for the United States at the Battle of Pearl Harbor. If you haven't visited this historic landmark, he highly recommends it. As a bonus, you get to visit Hawaii as well.
Yeah.
Today, Jeremy won't even pretend to be matching the toughness our armed forces showed that day, but he will still bring forward his best effort to provide a strong evaluation for Kathy. Please welcome Jeremy Udell.
Passion. Kathy, you've got it. She stands up here with eye contact that bores into us about this topic. How clear was it that Kathy wanted us to pay attention to her about this topic? All the elements were there today, Kathy, to persuade us with power, and I thought you really did. I thought you brought logic and emotion, which was one of your objectives. The logic came through with your book and the outline you used. You used a great visual aid. It's always tough up here with visual aids. The projector can't really happen up here and things get in your way and it's a small space. I liked your photo album idea. It worked well. I thought it confined you a little bit with your body movement, but you still fought through it and had some good body movement even besides that. And as I said, the elements were there because you had good logic and good emotion, and the emotion came through with stories. It was a little like a Rubik's Cube that I thought maybe needed a couple more turns to get 100% in order. What I mean by that is I would have loved it if you'd have opened with that story about being the first responder. Tell us about that story of passion for you, and then tell us why you have that passion. You know what brought me to the point I would never have been there as a first responder, but for this, the gift, which is what I want to talk to you about today. And I hope you'll get some of the passion that I got to lead me to be on that site. And then you had another great story about your history, being an entrepreneur, and then ending up at Staples, which, by the way, was a great change of pace to add humor to the story. And you could have ended with that. You could have concluded and said, somewhere along the way, I ended up at Staples. But I've read this now. I'm applying this to my life now, and I'm making changes. What changes will you make? And just left us with that would have been a very strong conclusion. Those emotional stories are great ways to open and close a persuasive speech like this, to give us a little bit of color. And you had them. Like I said, all the elements were already in the speech. You had all the right pieces, and I feel like if you had rearranged them a little more, you would have had just a little more power with your persuasion. But your stance, you leaned in like the people in this room. As I said, great eye contact. You did have gestures when you said, you, and you, and you, and you pointed at all of us to bring us in. And you had great vocal variety. Attitude is everything. So the passion was clear. The persuasion was there. A little more power, and this would have just driven the point home. I really loved it. You were worried about today's speech. It was a really good speech. Great job today, Kathy.
Yeah.